and welcome to Radiant Moments, a J&B podcast. I'm Michelle, your host, and I'm so glad to have you here with me. Let's take a moment together to pause, breathe, and set aside this space just for you. In the midst of the caregiving demands, it's easy to put our own well-being last. But here, right now, is your sanctuary, a time to reflect, reconnect, and recharge. So grab your favourite mug, settle in with a warm drink, and let's create a moment of peace and presence. Whether you're a seasoned caregiver, new to this path, or simply here to learn, no, you're not alone. I'm here to walk with you, to listen, support, and uplift. Together, we'll uncover radiant moments, share stories of resilience, and explore insights that can empower you on your caregiving journey. We're here to celebrate the strength, compassion and connection that caregivers bring into the world. So settle in and let's embark on this journey of inspiration, hope and self-discovery together. In our previous episode, we discussed the significance of building a caregiving support team and its impact on caregiver well-being and resilience. Today, we'll be exploring one of the key challenges that many caregivers face: understanding medical terminology and overcoming language barriers in healthcare communication. These barriers can create feelings of frustration, overwhelm, and sometimes isolation. But there are tools and strategies that can help you feel more confident and empowered as you navigate the medical world. So let's dive in. Let's start by talking about the challenge of medical terminology. Let's start by acknowledging the complexity of medical terminology. It often feels like stepping into a world with its own language, a language full of technical, clinical words that aren't a part of our everyday conversation. Medical professionals use terminology like hypertension, diphtheria, or immunosuppressants, expecting you to follow along, but it can be incredibly challenging. These words aren't just hard to pronounce, they're difficult to understand, especially when you're under stress, processing emotional news, or making quick decisions about your loved one's care. It's not uncommon to sit through a consultation and feel like you've understood only half of what was said. This is a significant issue for many caregivers, as it can lead to misunderstandings, miscommunications, and sometimes a lack of trust in the medical system. When you don't fully grasp the terminology, you might feel less confident advocating for your loved one, and that's a difficult place to be. As a caregiver, the responsibility of understanding what's being said doesn't stop with healthcare professionals. You also need to interpret and explain this information to your loved one or other family members. This means fully digesting the terms, understanding their implications, and finding similar language to convey complex information to people who may already be emotionally vulnerable or struggling with their own comprehension of the situation. But here's the good news: there are ways to overcome this challenge. Here are some strategies for understanding medical terminology. 1. Don't be afraid to ask questions. One of the simplest but most effective strategies is to ask for clarification. If a doctor or nurse uses a term you don't understand, don't hesitate to ask them to explain it in simpler language. Healthcare professionals are used to this, and many are more than happy to break down complex information when asked. You might say, "Can you explain that in everyday language?" Or, "What exactly does that word mean?" Asking for a written summary or having them explain with visual aids can also be very helpful. Number 2, seeking out reliable resources. There are numerous resources available to help you better understand medical terminology. You might turn to reliable websites such as Mayo Clinic, which offer clear definitions and explanations of medical terminology, or children's hospitals. There are also books specifically designed for caregivers to help them navigate the world of medical language, like the Caregiver's Guide to Understanding Medical Terminology. And of course, there's no better resource than your healthcare provider. Don't hesitate to follow up with questions after your appointments. Number 3, leverage your community. Another powerful way to learn is by connecting with other caregivers who are going through similar experiences. If you're caring for someone with a specific condition, such as diabetes or dementia, consider joining support groups either in person or online. These communities can offer valuable insights, including simplified explanations of medical terminology and treatment options. You might find that other caregivers have already navigated the same complex medical discussions and can offer practical tips on how to process and understand them. You don't have to go through this alone. There are others who have been in your shoes and can help you along the way. Let's now talk about another important factor that impacts your ability to understand medical language: your level of experience as a caregiver. Caregivers come from diverse backgrounds and walks of life. Some are new to caregiving, thrust into the role because of unexpected illness or accidents. Others have been caregivers for years, slowly building their knowledge of medical terms over time. But no matter where you are on your journey, the learning curve can still feel steep, especially when you're first starting out. If you're new to caregiving, every appointment can feel like information overload. There's a lot to process, and you may feel unprepared for the flood of medical jargon coming your way. You might not know the right questions to ask, and that can add to your sense of uncertainty. More experienced caregivers may have a different challenge. They might be familiar with the terminology associated with one condition, but as loved one's health evolves, new medical terms and conditions may arise. Suddenly, they're back to learning new information again, which can be both frustrating and overwhelming. Additionally, the diversification of medical professionals you encounter can add another layer of complexity. In 1 week, you could interact with a neurologist, a cardiologist, a pharmacist, a physical therapist, and more, each with their own specialised terminology. While it's important to have specialists involved in your loved one's care, this also means that you're juggling a variety of medical languages at once. This reality highlights the need for adaptability as a caregiver. Whether you're new or experienced, constantly learning and being open to new information is a key part of the role. Understanding that this journey will require ongoing learning and relearning is essential for managing the complexities that come your way. We're going to transition to discussing overcoming language barriers in healthcare communication. For caregivers who speak a different primary language than their healthcare providers, the challenges of understanding medical terminology are amplified. Even native English speakers find medical language difficult, so it's no surprise that non-native speakers face significant additional barriers. Here are some suggestions. Number 1, use a medical interpreter. Most hospitals and healthcare settings are legally required to provide interpreters, either in person or over the phone. If there's ever a language barrier during an appointment, request an interpreter. They can help ensure that both you and your loved one fully understand the diagnosis, treatment options, and care instructions. This is especially important in critical situations where precise communication is essential. Number 2, keep a medical glossary handy. Having a medical glossary in your primary language, either in a book or on your phone, can be incredibly useful. You can quickly look up terms you don't understand in real time, which can help you follow along with the conversation more effectively. There are also apps that translate medical terms, which could be another valuable tool in your caregiver toolkit. Number 3, develop relationships with bilingual healthcare professionals. If you live in a diverse area, it may be possible to build relationships with bilingual healthcare professionals who can speak directly with you in your primary language. Don't hesitate to ask your healthcare provider if they have staff members who are fluent in multiple languages. This can remove the need for a third-party interpreter and fosters more of a natural communication style. As caregivers, one of the most important ways we can empower ourselves is by maintaining a comprehensive medical compendium. This is essentially a well-organized collection of all relevant medical documentation, research, medication lists, and key terminology that pertains to your loved one's care. It serves as a go-to resource that can help you feel more informed and prepared when engaging with healthcare professionals, making important decisions or advocating for your loved one. A compendium like this might include a variety of documents. For example, number 1, medical documentation. Keeps copies of all medical reports, test results, discharge summaries, and physician notes. This ensures you have a complete record of your loved one's health history at your fingertips. If a specialist asks for past test results, or an emergency doctor needs context on a reoccurring issue, you'll have the information ready. Additionally, it's crucial for ensuring no conflicting treatments or diagnoses are overlooked. Number 2, medication records. It's important to maintain an up-to-date list of all medications prescribed to your loved one over the last 12 months, or longer depending on their medical history. Include dosage information, the reason for the prescription, and any known side effects. If there have been any changes in medication or adverse reactions, note these as well. This ensures you're ready for any consultation and reduces the chances of medical errors, especially in fast-paced environments like the emergency room. Number 3, glossary of key terms. Create a personalized glossary of medical terminology that pertains specifically to your loved one's condition. This can be a dynamic document where you can add new terms as you learn them. The idea here is to give yourself a quick reference guide for the terms that might come up in medical appointments or when discussing your loved one's care. By understanding these key terms in advance, you'll feel more confident and less overwhelmed when they come up in conversation. Number 4, research and educational documents. As you progress in your caregiving journey, you'll likely come across research articles, patient education booklets, and other valuable resources. Include these in your compendium so that you have access to reliable information that can guide your decision making. Researching your loved one's condition can give you deeper insight into treatment options, alternative therapies, and the latest medical advancements. By organising all of this information in one place, you'll create a knowledge hub that enhances your role as an empowered caregiver. This comprehensive medical compendium is more than just a collection of papers. It's a powerful tool for advocacy, preparation, and peace of mind. It gives you a complete overview of your loved one's health journey and ensures you are never caught off guard during important conversations or medical consultation. Caregiver empowerment and access to comprehensive knowledge. When you, as a caregiver, have immediate access to a thorough set of documents and research, it gives you an undeniable sense of empowerment. Being informed means being able to ask the right questions, make thoughtful decisions, and approach each medical situation with clarity. In moments of crisis or uncertainty, your compendium becomes your most valuable tool, helping you stay organised and calm under pressure. The act of creating and maintaining a compendium also fosters a deeper understanding of your loved one's health, equipping you with the knowledge needed to navigate their medical journey confidently. It's a proactive step in ensuring that no piece of information is lost, overlooked, or forgotten. Remember, this isn't just about the quality of information, it's about having the right information, organised in a way that works for you. By taking ownership of your loved one's medical records, terminology, and research, you are taking ownership of the caregiving process itself. It's an empowering move that can ultimately lead to better care, stronger advocacy, and more positive outcomes for your loved one. By maintaining a comprehensive medical compendium, caregivers can feel more equipped and confident in medical environments, no matter how complex or fast-paced. Whether you're a new caregiver or experienced in the role, having all the information at your fingertips can be a game changer. It allows you to step into every medical conversation with clarity, ready to support and advocate for your loved one with all the tools you need. At J&B Inspired, we believe that knowledge is power, and we are passionate about helping caregivers feel more confident and capable on their journey. That's why we're excited to share that we've been inspired to create a comprehensive Caregivers Compendium, a tool designed specifically to empower caregivers just like you. This compendium will offer a structured and easy-to-use format to store all medical documentation, medications, key terminology, and valuable research that pertains to your loved one's health. Our goal is to provide you with a resource that not only organises your caregiving information, but also equips you to engage with medical professionals, make informed decisions, and advocate with confidence. This compendium will be more than just a collection of papers. It will be your partner in caregiving, ensuring you have the right tools to thrive in the most complex situations. Keep your eyes open for its launch, as we are excited to bring this invaluable resource to our community of caregivers. We believe that every caregiver deserves the support and empowerment that a well-maintained compendium can offer, and we can't wait to share it with you, so stay tuned. Thank you for joining me today as we explore the common challenges caregivers face when it comes to understanding medical terminology and overcoming language barriers in healthcare communication. In our next episode, we'll be diving into the science of joy, exploring how gratitude, mindfulness, and connection contribute to overall well-being and resilience. You won't want to miss it. Until next time, stay radiant, stay resilient, and keep shining your light bright.